All right, everyone. So this is the second part of the sunrise. So in this video, we're going to do the privilege escalation part, the part we all enjoy doing. So basically, we have done multiple tastes of privilege escalation in the past videos, and this video we're doing now is not different actually. So let's try or um, let's see how this works. So basically, guys, I have got non-privileged user access to a system. Okay, now I need to study where there is a weakness from which I can escalate my privilege. So basically, guys, the first thing you do when you are testing for a system is to try to elevate your privilege with the, I don't know what to say it, but with the shortest time possible. So you type sudo -l. As you can see here, you're going to see what are the current privilege of the Sunrise user. As you can see, Sunrise can run the wine application with root privilege, which is also a misconfiguration you should avoid at all costs. All of the applications on the system, all of the binaries, all of the files, if you have a limited user or non-admin user, okay, even the admin users should also, or should all the time, run their operations from non-privileged users, or non-privileged user, okay? So in this case, wine should not be run by root. I mean, wine as an app is an app to let you run Microsoft compiled, Windows compiled programs to run on Linux. So the wine app, a non-privileged user should either not be able to run the wine app, which is secure but not flexible, or the non-privileged user can run the wine app but cannot sudo without not privileged mode. The only case you need to run a program in a privileged mode is when you are root. Okay. Even if the program or the app may be abused or may have vulnerabilities in the future or has vulnerabilities in the wild, you should avoid running this program in a privileged mode from a normal user. Okay, don't give regular users privileged access or privileged mode on binaries or files or SUID bit set. You may need to do that, but for a short period of time or for periodic purposes. So let's now see what this wine can do. So wine basically tells us that you can use wine in a privileged mode, which means we can run a Microsoft Windows application on this system, okay, in a privileged mode as a root. So this means we're gonna generate a payload, okay, that is meant to run on Windows and run this payload on our box over here using wine to gain root access. So that's the hanging fruit of this part. So let me now generate a payload. So now let me tell you guys something. So basically, Msfn, you can use Msfn only for testing purposes. You cannot rely on Msfn for testing newer versions of Linux or hardened versions or Microsoft Windows. You cannot use it because basically Windows Defender will be able to recognize the malware or recognize the payload. So good luck trying that, but use Msfn only for penetration testing, for testing systems, okay? Okay, so let's generate Windows executable file payload using Msfn. So payload Windows metadata reverse TCP. That's the payload. Node architecture x86. The platform is Windows, and you can use encoder like Shikata something. I cannot remember the name. Shikata. I don't use encoder, but basically, guys, if you want the payload to be sneaky, and if you want the payload to avoid antiviruses, which is far from reality, actually, you want to play with The encoder select an encoder, and you want to play with the iterations. You can select like 100 iterations to, masquerade, overshadow, and cover up your payload. But I'm not going to use that since we are using this for pen testing purposes or testing purposes. So platform Windows, lhost equal 192. By the way, there are specific frameworks that you can use to try to test Windows systems or systems that are hardened with antivirus, but not Msfn. I hadn't have any successful experience with Msfn with Windows 10 or hardened versions of Linux. If you have had any successful experience, just comment out in the video. Just let us know. So 192.168.94 L port is 4555, and the executable version or the file extension will be exe, and the payload will have the path will end up in desktop with the name xp or payload. Yeah, okay. So our payload is being created now. Now let's hop into a new terminal. Ah, invalid payload selection. Why? So Windows Meterpreter. No, I have a typo over here. Meterpreter. Okay, let's hop into a new terminal and run a listener. So I'm going to cancel. Let me run a listener, guys, so to capture the connection from the victim machine when I place that into it. So MSF use exploit multi-handler to run listener applications. Now you just say set. The payload should be the same payload that you use with Msfn, by the way. Windows meter reverse TCP. What happened? Okay. Now set lhost my IP. L port is the port you select with Msfn. Run the listener, wait for incoming connections to land on your attacking machine. Now, you need to transfer that into the victim system. How? We can use a server, web server, like Apache or Python listener to download the file from our machine to the target machine. Let's first use Python simple, okay, on the port 880. And now we can download the file from our desktop. Let's hop into the victim machine now. Yep. And where is it? Okay. Now let's wget. We write our own address and the name of the file. Hey, says the file doesn't exist. Now, are you sure? I need to go to desktop and run the server from there because the file is on desktop. Okay. Yeah. So we have the file. Let's now sudo. Let me close all of these. And now we run the file with the current user. Sudo wine and the app. Let's see if we have incoming connection. And we have Meterpreter session open now. and we can go to root. Oh my shell. Oh, shell is not recognized command ID. I think I forgot the interpreter commands. So let's get the so cd root. I tried this ls. So as you can see, we are root on the system now. We can navigate to the root directory. That's the privilege escalation of this, or that's the part of privilege escalation. It's very simple. The same concept, guys. Just don't, don't give non-privileged users the ability to run binaries, tools, programs, read files in a privileged mode. And you avoid most of the privilege escalation tactics that are used in the wild. Thank you for watching.